Part 4. The New Rules Emperor, Thrak stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Destroyer of Worlds. Around him, the largest fleet in galactic history prepared for battle. 5,000 Korthak warships stretched across space like a metal ocean. Each ship carried weapons that had conquered 100 worlds. "Admiral," Thrak said to his fleet commander, "how many human ships are we facing?" 100, Your Majesty," Admiral Quarks replied. "But sir, their ships are unusually large." "Size means nothing," Thrak snarled. "We have 50 ships for every one of theirs. Numbers always win." He was about to learn how wrong he was. Above Zerion Prime, Admiral Sarah Chen watched the Korthak fleet approaching. Her tactical officer counted the enemy ships with growing amazement. "Admiral, they're bringing everything. 5,000 ships, including their heaviest battle cruisers." "Good," Admiral Chen said calmly. "Let them bring their entire navy. It will make the lesson more clear." She opened a communication channel to the Korthak fleet. "Emperor Thrak," she said, "you still have time to surrender. Your ships are no match for ours." Thrak's ugly face appeared on her screen, twisted with rage. "Surrender to humans? I would rather die than bow to weaklings like you." "That can be arranged," Admiral Chen replied. "But first, let me show you something." She nodded to her weapons officer. In space, every human ship powered up their main guns at the same time. The energy signatures were so massive that they lit up the darkness like 100 small suns. On the Korthak flagship, every alarm started screaming. "Sir!" shouted the tactical officer. "The energy readings from those ships, they're impossible. Each human ship has more firepower than our entire fleet." Emperor Thrak's 4 eyes widened in shock, but his pride was stronger than his fear. "Fire everything. Kill them all." The Korthak fleet opened fire. 5,000 ships launched every weapon they had. Plasma cannons, particle beams, nuclear missiles, everything flew toward the human ships in a massive wave of destruction. Admiral Chen watched the attack coming without concern. "Shields up. Return fire." The alien weapons hit the human shields and simply vanished. The advanced human defensive systems absorbed the attack like it was nothing. Not a single human ship was even scratched. Then the human ships fired back. What happened next would be remembered across the galaxy for 1,000 years. 100 human ships fired at the same time. The beams of energy that shot out were wider than most space stations. They moved faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. Emperor Thrak watched in horror as his mighty fleet simply disappeared. Ships that had taken years to build were destroyed in seconds. His finest warships, commanded by his best officers, turned to dust and metal fragments. In less than 5 minutes, the entire Korthak fleet was gone. 5,000 ships, 2 million warriors, the pride of the Korthak Empire, all destroyed by 100 human vessels that had barely used 10% of their power. "Impossible," Thrak whispered, staring at empty space where his fleet had been. "This cannot be happening." Admiral Chen's voice came through his speakers. "Emperor Thrak, you now have 2 choices. Surrender your empire to human authority, or watch us destroy every Korthak world one by one." Thrak's legs gave out. He fell to his knees on his own bridge, broken by what he had witnessed. His proud empire, built over 1,000 years, was helpless against humanity's secret fleet. I surrender," he said, his voice barely a whisper. Across the galaxy, other alien leaders watched the battle through long-range sensors. The Xerac Federation immediately sent surrender messages. The Crystalline Collective offered to become human allies. Even the mighty Vortan Empire, rulers of 10,000 worlds, agreed to negotiate. Within hours, Admiral Chen was broadcasting to every inhabited world in the galaxy. "Citizens of the galaxy," she began, "today marks the beginning of a new age. For too long, the strong have bullied the weak. The rich have stolen from the poor. Entire species have been enslaved while others lived in luxury." Her image appeared on billions of screens across thousands of worlds. Humans, aliens, and every other species listened to her words. "The Galactic Council is dissolved," she continued. "In its place, humanity offers something new. Fair trade for all species, protection for the weak, justice for everyone, regardless of what planet they come from." On Earth, humans watched their admiral with tears in their eyes. For 2 centuries, they had suffered in silence. Now their children would grow up free. "But freedom comes with rules," Admiral Chen said, her voice becoming harder. "No more slavery. No more stealing from weaker species. No more wars of conquest. Any species that breaks these rules will face the human fleet. On the former slave worlds, billions of creatures looked up at the sky with hope for the first time in their lives. The Korthak had enslaved them for generations. The Zarak had worked them to death in mines. Now someone was finally strong enough to protect them, but not everyone was happy with the new rules. In the deep reaches of space, War Master Skarl of the Vortan Empire met with other military leaders who refused to accept human authority. "This is madness," Skarl said, his tentacles writhing with anger. "We bow to no one. The Vortan Empire has ruled for 10,000 years. The humans destroyed 5,000 Korthak ships in minutes," said General Hex of the Acid Storm's fleet. "What chance do we have?" "We don't fight them directly," Skarl replied. "We hit their weak spots, their colonies, their trade ships. We make them spread their fleet thin, then we strike." It was a plan born of desperation and pride, and it was about to teach the galaxy why humans had spent so much time building so many ships. Admiral Chen received the intelligence reports in her private quarters. The remaining rebel forces were planning guerrilla attacks on human colonies. "How many ships should we send to protect our people?" asked Captain Santos. Admiral Chen looked at the star map showing rebel fleet positions. 30 different groups scattered across the galaxy, each one planning attacks on human civilians. "All of them," she said simply. "Ma'am, send all 100 ships. Every rebel fleet will face the full power of humanity. We're not going to chase them around the galaxy for years. We're going to end this rebellion in one day." Captain Santos stared at her. "Admiral, that's massive overkill. Some of these rebel groups only have 10 or 20 ships." "Good," Admiral Chen replied. "I want every species in the galaxy to understand something very clearly. When humans make rules, we enforce them completely." The next morning, rebel forces across the galaxy woke up to find human warships in their systems. Not 1 or 2 ships, the entire human fleet. War Master Skarl found himself facing 20 human vessels, each one larger than his entire base. His last transmission was simple: "We surrender. Please don't destroy us." By noon, every rebel group had surrendered. By evening, the galaxy was at peace for the first time in centuries. Admiral Chen stood on her bridge looking out at the stars. Her communications officer approached with a report. "Admiral, we're receiving surrender messages from over 300 species. They're all asking to join the new galactic government under human leadership." "And what about the species that were enslaved?" "They're sending thank you messages, ma'am. Billions of them. They're calling us their saviors." Admiral Chen nodded. The galaxy was safe now. The strong could no longer prey on the weak. Children of every species could grow up without fear. But she knew this was just the beginning. Keeping the peace would be harder than winning the war. "Send a message to all human colonies," she said. "It's time to come home. The galaxy knows who we really are now." Across the stars, human families who had lived in secret for generations finally stepped into the light. The galaxy's greatest secret had become its new reality. Humanity had spent 200 years pretending to be weak while building the strongest fleet in galactic history. Now they would spend the next 1,000 years proving that strength and justice could exist together. The age of bullies was over. The age of humanity had begun.